Alright, I see some of you guys are into fighting. One could call 2009 the year of the fighting games. Titles such as Street Fighter 4, Baz Blue, Garo, Mark of the Wolves, all released this year. But what about this latest game, King of Fighters 12? Is its Kung Fu better than our Kung Fu? On this episode of the Angry Joe Show, we will soon find out. See ya! See ya! See ya!
Alright, so I'm not gonna talk that way for the whole review, but it's fun. You should try it. Now, before we get to the review, I think it's only fair to let you guys know that I'm not what you would call very good at fighting games. Yeah. No! You cheated! You cheated! You're a cheater!
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did!
You just lost.
But as you can see, I get pretty pissed off in a hurry. You're not telling me to move.
Joe.
You're not even letting me see the moves.
Joe.
What?
Listen. It's
No.
alright. Just admit it, Joe.
No. Don't you
Joe,
say it.
it's. I mean, we
Don't.
can't all be
Please.
perfect at every game.
You
Joe,
say it. Okay, don't.
you suck. You suck.
No! We shall play again! Only this time, I will be Joe Higashi, the King of Fighters! I cannot lose! See, I like to find a character that looks the coolest, and then own that character. And train, learn all of his moves, and beat everybody's ass with that single character. Whether he's the most badass looking, or whether he has the best name in the universe. I learn his every move, and I master the art of beating ass with him. So, are you gonna have fun beating ass in King of Fighters 12? Well, first, let's take a look at what's good about the game. Now, I had a bunch of friends over. We had Street Fighter, Blah Blue. We had Blah Blue, Calamity Trigger. We had Garo, Mark of the Wolves. We had all the fighting games. And we had King of Fighters 12. And what was so odd is we kept going back to King of Fighters 12. We kept playing it over the other ones. Why? Because of one simple fact. The fighting system in that game is excellent. It's superb. It's top notch. Everything flows so well, and everything feels extremely responsive. That's the way a fighting game should be done. Not only that, but it was easiest for all of us to get and learn. It's one of those cliche things. It's easy to learn, tough to master, or whatever. Unfortunately, after everybody left, I didn't pick it up again. Why? Well, the answer is actually something that you would know if you own the game for only about 5 minutes. This kind of looks like the end of the game. This cannot be the end of the game. Holy shit, this is the end of the game. The thing that stands out most about it is the serious lack of content. You see, there's no story mode. And then the arcade mode that is there is a joke. It's 5 matches and then it's over. And there's no character introductions at all. I don't know who any of these people are. And that's another huge letdown. Now, this is the first time there's been a retail game of King of Fighters on the 360. It seems logical to me that there's a whole new audience out there that has no idea who any of these people are. You know, like this guy, or this dude, or this trucker guy. And why is this guy dressed like this? Or how about the fact that this guy looks exactly like this guy?
seems kind of cheap to me. Maybe we would understand these things if there was some kind of story, but there's not, and that is really disappointing. And online, you'll find that a lot of people are complaining that they kind of de-saxed the game, if you will. It's not sexy. They took out the boobies, okay? Okay, there's no boobies flapping around everywhere here in this game, okay? They even took out a fan favorite, Mai. There's even a few people online that says, no Mai, no buy. Me, I don't really care. But what I do care about is a solid fighting experience. And this game does have that. But as of right now, the online has serious lag issues. So the only fun I had was when I had a bunch of people over and we were all playing the game. It's a shame because this game grabbed my attention. I started to get interested in the fighters. Like, why do these people look like this, but then you have cool guys like this guy and this guy? I still don't know. Over the years, we've gone through massive rosters, or oodles of extra content, or recently branching storylines. But in this game, it's as if they took a step backward. And it feels like there's a huge chunk of my game missing. To sum it up, what it really feels like is a extremely polished Xbox Live Arcade game. Now you guys know I'm honest with you, and this is really hard for me to rate because the fighting is so good, but every other part of the game is seriously lacking content. So how do you rate a fighting game like that? At first you think the only thing that should matter in a fighting game is the fighting. But then you realize that this is 2009 and we should expect a little bit more out of our games, especially if other games, its competitors, are giving us more. Now the PlayStation 3 version might rate a little higher because it includes the really cool sounding clan support. How badass would that be? Unfortunately, the Xbox 360 owners get shit. Now King of Fighters 12 ultimately gets a final verdict of 6 out of 10 here at the Angry Joe Show. Now remember, we use the true scale system, okay? Not any of this old 7s are average games bullshit. No, here at the show, 5s are average games. They're not that good and they're not that bad, they're just so-so. In this particular game, even though the fighting is badass, unfortunately the rest of the game feels like it's missing so much, and currently the online needs work. So if you're a huge hardcore fighting fan, you can buy this game and enjoy the hell out of it, especially if you've been following King of Fighters for a long time. But for the rest of us, it's a solid rental. And because the online is kind of jacked up right now, call your friends, bring them over, and then beat their ass and watch the hilarity ensue. Especially if you use this guy to kick their ass. Or girl. Or guy. In fact, I've had a few arguments with my friends. You know, it looks like a girl, but it sounds like a guy. And it kicks like this, and it moves like this. Nobody wants to lose to this character. Anyway, for the full review and the breakdown, visit AngryJoeShow.com. And as always, I want to hear from you guys, the angry players. What do you think? What happens when a fighting game has excellent fighting mechanics, but it doesn't offer you anything else besides that? Does it count as a full retail purchase? Should it have been an Xbox Live Arcade game? What do you rate King of Fighters? In fact, who's your favorite character? I was using Joe Higashi for a long time. Then I switched over to the leather jacket dude, you know? And then I did the trucker guy, because his arms are massive and cause a lot of damage. But I kept getting my ass kicked with all of those guys, and I just wish there was a better fighter out there. Somebody strong, somebody with force lightning, somebody with the power to just be so kick ass that he just wait a minute. There is a fighter out there like that. That's right, that fighter's me. Come to think of it, I got a score to settle with somebody that wronged me a long time ago. So I'll be back on the next episode of the Angry Joe Show. Excuse me for a second.
Kelly Clarkson!